Now when you get your MPK 61 key or 88 key, you're going to get two discs. Now here we have one. This is for a Go Live Lite by Ableton. And we also have one which is our editor, which we're going to use a lot in the video from the computer. We got a lot codes also for our Go Live Lite, which is right here. So I'm going to use the editor, and it'll show you the same features I have here, except it'll be on a computer, and you'll be able to physically see it much better. So we use the editor for actually editing the program a lot, which is really much easier actually to get presets I want to save also as well, or store them as well here. And we use Go Live also for creating songs, but in our video we're going to probably use mostly a lot of Reasons and some Pro Tools. But it doesn't matter, you just need to know how to use your MPK with whatever DAW you're using or module. USB, MIDI out, and MIDI in for foot switch 1, foot switch 2, and expression pedal. Here you can put your lock in right there. Lock your program, of course. And here is for our power source, which requires a 16-volt direct current right here. And this we can wrap a little wire around for our direct current. That way we won't just pull it out and break this. That's important. Okay, now I want to flip this around a little bit so you can get to see. My setup's pretty simple right here for today. What we're using right here, we're just using our inputs, right, as you can see. We've got a USB and a MIDI output. That's all we're using right now. We're going to send output to a Reason software, or Pro Tools, or our Logic, or Sonar, or even our Go Live Lite. Now if you want, you can also use an input here. Let's say, for example, I have my MPC. I have my MPC control everything. I'd put it in here, let's say, and have an MPC keyboard, and I'd run it from, the MPC drum machine. I might run it from here, make it easier for me. So I'm using also USB cables, so my power's coming from my USB cable. Always make sure your system is set up first. Set the cables in, know how you're going to use your system, then turn your software or your hardware on. That way it'll recognize it before you start to use it. Now this is our LCD display. Here we can view all the parameters of any preset, or let's say we change a bank, pad. We can see A, B, C, or D right here. We can see our MIDI controls right here, and we can change all our parameters within the screen. Now here we have our value button. I can increase or decrease the value. Let's say, for example, I'm a particular preset, and I'm there and I want to move from this one preset to another preset. I can turn the value knob and press enter. I'm in a new preset. Now the button below here, these buttons right here, can move me along to the field. I can go to the next field, or the next field, or the next field that I see here in my LCD display. Once I get to that field, I can change the particular parameters of that field. Now next we have here is our preset button. I can be in any particular field right here on my LCD display. I'll press preset and I'm back to presets. I can select a new preset. I can go turn the data wheel, enter, and select that preset. Back to preset again. Press enter. I've got my preset selected. Now I can hit this button right here, which is my edit button. And this button allows me to call up edit mode. In edit mode, this allows me to change the behavior of any pad, knob, fader, button, keyboard, and I can change the behaviors of those particular items. I can edit their parameters. Global mode. I press this button right here. This is global mode. Now this allows me to call the global mode where MIDI reset commands and global system preferences are set. The next button we've got is the preview button. Now this button allows you to see what value will be sent to a controller without actually setting the value. For example, I may have a particular volume level that's supposed to be up to here, we'll say. And what I want to do is, okay, look, I want to make sure I know where this is at. Now on the computer I see it, okay, it's in a volume level for this particular keyboard sound, we'll say, it's actually there. But this fader was actually here. So I preview it first, Then I want to adjust my fader to where it's supposed to start from. Start the preview, and then I can do my adjustments of the parameter of the volume control, which would be the up or down of volume. Now this way, this is really especially really useful when you're trying to switch between control banks, where, for example, the physical position of the fader may not correspond to the last value sent by the controller. So hold down the preview button, hold the preview button down. This allows me to view the original value and adjust the physical position of the fader as necessary before transmitting any value. That's important to know. Next we have program change. Now program change, when I press this button, we enter the program change mode. And in this mode I can send a program change or program with bank change message to any hardware or software device that I have. Let's say a module or whatever, or even to the software, and change the program. Here we have the 8 assignable knobs. These are 360-degree knobs. You can turn them all the way around. Continuous control data to our desktop audio workstation or to an external device, mini device. Let's say I got a module, I got a motif rack. I can use this to turn that particular data that I've set for in my preset. It's really cool. Next here we've got our faders. These are really cool. We can move the faders up and down. They're really cool, really smooth. Very smooth faders. These of course are assignable. Each fader can be used to send a continuous control data signal to the same thing. Any software like Reasons or Sonar or Pro Tools instrument will say, or to even a module, you know, like a rack mount, like a motif or JV rack mount, any rack mount module, and you can send this data right out to it. This is a MIDI controller, of course, and that's why we have these faders. Now, right below our faders, we have our assignable buttons. Now, these buttons right here, they light up. It's kind of cool. They light up so you know which one's lit. Very useful. So, these buttons are used to send messages for MIDI CC switches or program change devices. They can function in momentary or toggle mode. And when I press this other button here at the end here, which we have over here, which is my time division button, these buttons are used for the time division, let's say for an arpeggiator. I would be here in quarter notes. Here is eighth notes. Now this is quarter note triplets. Here's eighth notes. Here's eighth note triplets. Here's 16th notes. Here's 16th note triplets. Here's 32nd notes and 32nd note triplets. So I can use these to go back and forth between subdivisions of any note I'd like to when I'm using my time division. Control bank. Right here's our control bank section. And I control particular banks. How this works, for example, this is bank A. So I have 8 buttons, 8 knobs, 8 buttons, 8 faders. That's the one bank. Bank B is the next bank. So I have 8 knobs, 8 faders, 8 buttons on the bottom there. And then hit it again, and both lights light, which gives us C, which is bank C, which gives us again another 8 faders, 8 buttons, 8 knobs. So we have these 3 banks, and we control them right here with this one button.